All praise, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. I want to say peace, safety, much love, and blessing to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity and putting their lives on the line to do so. I want to say shalom to you, brothers. I'm the brother Arak out of GMS Atlanta, back in the spirit with another lesson, and Lord willing, the lesson be edifying to an elect member or two. What I got on screen here is a screenshot from last week's camp this past Saturday. And we had a guy that stopped. And you know, whenever you get someone that stops at camp, you know, it kind of excites you, if you will, you know, that someone's finally stopping, you know, whether they be a scoffer or whether they be a listener that want to learn. You know, whatever the case may be, you know, you're just happy to have that interaction with the people that walk by. So this one particular guy here that you see on the left-hand side, completely bugged out, you know, came up and was inquiring about the scriptures, okay? And you know, right offhand, based on his appearance, we don't, you know, shun him or run him up the street because he looks like a so-called Edomite. I mean, not a so-called white man or Edomite. All right, we deal and we let the spirit play out. All right, because an Edomite will not get these scriptures, you know, because the scriptures tell us that the spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if the spirit doesn't bear witness with your spirit, then more than likely you're a heathen. All right, you just straight up. You're a heathen. You're not of the fold. You're not of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, point blank, period. So the spirit played out to where he began asking questions. All right, and I started off, and if brothers want to go back and, you know, look at the camp, I think he approached the camp around the 50-minute mark. And he began to ask questions, you know, and my first question to him was, has he read the Bible? And his answer was no. So that was ultimately a red flag right there. How are you going to come up and ask questions about something that you don't even know the basis of, or you have no basic fundamentals or foundation of? All right, it doesn't work that way. And then if you do come into a situation where you don't have the basic fundamentals, okay, or you don't have a basic knowledge or reading of the subject at hand, you shut the hell up, you know, and listen. Because that's a sign of ignorance, that you're speaking on a topic or a subject that you have no idea about because you haven't even begun to read. All right. So let me get this precept real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, and verse 3. And it reads, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." All right. So we were out prophesying, you know, the things that were to come. All right, and this guy came up and he asked questions, but he missed the part where it's important to read. Okay, that's how I knew at that point he just was there for shits and giggles. He wasn't really trying to understand. You know, he was just there to combat or try to debunk. All right, he wasn't there on a sincere tip trying to figure out, you know, what we were teaching and so on and so forth. But long story short, we tried to deal with him. Myself, the brother Anai, the officer Kashakwala, we tried to deal with him accordingly, have a certain level of patience with him, you know, and then, you know, the Captain Abba stepped in and just basically told his ass to kick rocks because, you know, he was coming in the spirit of the Edomite spirit, man, and that woman spirit, doing a whole bunch of talking, but really not doing any listening. All right. He asked a question to me specifically. I went into the scriptures and I was reading it, and he wasn't paying it. You can see him staring off into space, and I was like, "Did you hear what I just read?" "No, I didn't hear it. Read it again." I'm like, "You didn't hear me, because basically you were listening to rebut, or you were listening thinking about your next point you would make. You weren't listening to understand. All right. So like I said, brothers can go back and watch the video. Anytime we get someone that walks up and want to deal, we'll deal accordingly and to the spirit, like it did in this instance, run these evil spirits off, man. All right. So from there, let me go to what's this? And then, like I was saying, there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but when you ask a question, you got to let the answer come out. All right. And he wanted us to deal not according to the scriptures. All right. But that's not what we do. Everything that we do, all right, because the scriptures tell us to be apt to teach. We read these things, all right, we study it, and we, to the best of our ability, give the people answers that they may have. They may have questions. We give them the answer to. So let me go to. And the best way to gather any type of information is to listen. Okay. You can't gather information or learn anything doing a whole bunch of talking. All right. And we all know why this guy approached us in the manner that he did. Like he was going to teach us something. Because he was looking at us based off of outward appearance. All right. We look to him as just some niggas on the street corner with a camera doing something, not realizing the severity of his actions. When he comes to the tabernacle or the church of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, you're supposed to conduct yourself in a certain way, and he wasn't doing that. So with that, let me get Ecclesiastes 5:1, and it reads, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil." So he's just coming out, blabbering off at the mouth, not letting brothers finish the point, interrupting the scriptures, not knowing that he was committing the evil act, in the sight of the Lord, So Ecclesiastes 5:1 reads, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools." And I wanted to do this lesson because this guy is just an example. There are other, individuals that may want to know something pertaining to the scriptures, or that may walk by a camp and inquire, about the scriptures, or it may be brothers that are listening and watching over YouTube that may have questions. All right, when you're asking these questions, let the questions be seasoned. All right, and also listen, because the best way to get an answer when you're in a group setting is to just listen, and eventually, while the speaker is speaking or the teacher is teaching, the question that you may have had will be answered within the teachings. Okay, that's why if you go to any kind of assembly or any kind of Q&A, you save the questions to the end. All right, because like I said, during the teaching and the reciting of whatever you got going on, the answer to your question may be in there. So it's important just to listen. All right, so be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools. All right, for one. So from there, let me go to the book of Romans. This is Romans 8:16, and it reads, I quoted it, "The Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High." So the Spirit wasn't bearing witness with this guy, but I'm talking to the brothers that the Spirit is bearing with. You can use these type of examples of what not to do or what not to be, when approaching a camp with questions that you may have. Okay. One more last precept, and then I'm gonna wrap the lesson up. Just wanted to speak on this topic. Go ahead and put it on wax, man, because you know, it was an interesting interaction. You know, like I said, we don't have many people that may stop by, you know, that ask questions. People may look or, you know, give a funny face or what have you, or cross the street, but very rare that we get someone to stop. All right, and this was just another example of that, you know, of what you may get. All right, so from there, let me get and in this precept, you know, I'm talking to men that are looking to, you know, gain a certain level of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding according to the scriptures. Not, you know, those that are trying to listen to debunk or find a schism or, you know, or whatever. So this is Sirach 32 and verse 7, and it reads, "Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, yet holdeth his tongue. If thou be amongst great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words." All right. So that's to brothers that are listening, that are young, that are coming up. You know, be observant, be a fly on the wall when you're amongst great men of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and you'll pick up on more and you'll comprehend more, all right, by using fewer words and listening more, you know. But like I said, that guy didn't look at us as great men, you know. It just looked like some niggas to him, you know. But he didn't know he marked himself for judgment, you know. And eventually, you know, brothers go back and watch the video, he end up being pushed up the block, you know, wanting to smoke him a cigarette right in front of us, you know. So, you know, bid him his farewell so he can go do whatever the hell he wanted to do, smoke the whole pack of nicotine if he wanted to, you know, outside of our presence. But we know the scriptures also tell us, and I believe that's in the book of Sirach too, that if a rich man speaks, everyone listens, you know, roughly paraphrasing. But when a poor man speaks, or one that they perceive as being poor speaks, they look to overthrow him. All right, so Lord willing, you know, this was an edifying lesson. I'm going to end it giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.